evening, Port of Entry Advisory Committee. We are calling this meeting to order. It is 6:05. We're trying to get this meeting accomplished quickly so we can go root for our tacos. So let's do a quick. Give me five. We're good.
4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Roll call: Mónica Salinas,
Here.
Carlos Fernández,
Not here.
Jesus Olivares,
Here.
J.D. Gonzalez, Orfelio Quintanilla, Luis Hinojosa, Rick Laurel, present, Arturo Dominguez.
Here.
Emilio Richer.
Here.
Ah, la madre, ¿te pusieron? David Puig, Tony Arce, Rodolfo Roberto Garza Benavides, Jorge Cavazos.
He was here a few
Yeah,
months.
Mr. Cavazos.
Yeah.
Cavazos is here.
He'll be back in
Uh,
shortly.
Jason Hinojosa.
Here.
Gerardo Maldonado. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm sorry, Rodolfo Garza Benavides. And we have one vacant spot. So the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Do we have any public or citizens' comments?
Chairman, we have no.
No comments.
Comments.
All right.
This time.
We have approval of the minutes. The minutes were emailed to everybody earlier today. And if I can get an approval, motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Aye. Okay. First item of discussion, update regarding the Rio Grande International Study Center, independent air monitoring stations at Juarez Lincoln Bridge and World Trade Bridge, and any matters incident there too. So, just to update the board, I was at the last city council meeting and I presented to council that we voted to not allow the air monitors on the World Trade Bridge at a 7-3 vote. It was a very heated meeting and the mayor tabled it. He pushed to table it to get more information. So in your packets today, there is a letter of from the city of Laredo, signed from the Dr. Trevino, addressed to myself. And I'll just read it real quick, but it says, first and foremost, I want to thank you and the leadership of the committee for addressing some of the most important challenges impacting our port of entry. As you may be aware, Laredo continues to be the #1 port of entry because we have some of the most innovative and competitive international port in the world. This includes finding a reasonable balance between environmental, public health, and commercial growth based on facts and data. I am pleased to report that Laredo continues to be in compliance with all federal and state air regulatory requirements and has one of the most sophisticated air monitoring stations in the southern United States at our World Trade Bridge. This station has been in place for over 20 years and also picks up emissions from Mexico. From my staff's initial review of this information, TCEQ has not found any incidents where Laredo was out of regulatory compliance or non-attainment. The readings from this station can be obtained by any member of our community by going onto airnow.gov. Additionally, I have had several recent conversations with the leadership of TCEQ and my recent visits to the White House, which reaffirmed that our World Trade Bridge expansion application, supported by both Congressman Cuellar and Senator Cruz and signed by President Biden, would not have been successful if there were any environmental concerns at our port of entry. With that being said, I have met with several of our Mexican counterparts, including Alcaldesa Cantu Rosas, who shares my belief that this is a core function of local government, and our communities should continue to create short-term and long-term strategies for our expected growth. For this reason, we will be having our first binational Environmental Public Health Summit, where all stakeholders will be invited to give input on these strategies. The discussion will be moderated by the City of Laredo Health Department and the Departamento de Salud de Nuevo Laredo. The dates tentatively will be September 12th in Laredo and September 19th in Nuevo Laredo. I would like to extend an invitation to your committee and look forward to hearing from all members of our incredible community. Sincerely, Dr. Victor D. Treviño. So it is the mayor's view that they're also protecting the World Trade Bridge just like we protect it. And this item got very politicized, unfortunately. So we're gonna be going through what looks to be a health summit, and then eventually there'll be a vote at city council for yay or nay of allowing of the air monitors on the current air monitors. So,
So without getting into too much detail, and I don't wanna discuss it too much because it was my fault, I wasn't here to discuss it, but just to get the official background. The air monitors that they're proposing is just a organization that wants to put them up there for free, just different air monitors, and just do the same thing that they're currently monitoring. It's
Right.
just- Okay, and
so it's a $75,000 grant, from TCEQ and a couple of other entities to place, I believe it was 18 monitors, 19 monitors around the city, and they wanna start with the bridges.
what's wrong with that?
There's already a monitor monitoring what they're trying to pick up.
What's wrong with placing a second one?
Basically, they want to say that the air in the World Trade is not good. So in order for the non-profit organization get more grants in order to clear the air.
No, but I think that's a supposition. So please, like, and I'm not trying to get aside, I'm trying to say they're correct. Like, what's wrong with them placing more? We already measure it, we're supposed to get the same readings, because it's already there, no?
We're supposed to get the same readings. There's, the doctor said, well, that's when we want to learn is when there's a difference, we want to see exactly what the difference is. That's what the doctor said. that Basically,
The doctor is the mayor?
No, there was a doctor from TCEQ that was.
And the ones we have right now are not anything related to TCQ?
Yes.
They are.
They are
Okay.
from-
They say, oh, just put new ones?
So so we would rather have those monitors, since there's already a monitor there and the information is available. Put that monitor on a school, put that monitor somewhere else and use the data from that to collect more information. So it's redundant to government and we don't need, redundant oversight on our golden goose, like we call it.
there's only one. It's just another thing. This is like low cost.
So the air just to give you an idea, the air monitor that's there is about the size of that table, and it's a big monitor, and they wanna put a little monitor on to monitor that monitor. So it didn't make sense. The data's already there, don't need to repeat it, but now it's just somebody else trying to get more data. So I'm afraid that there's
But
more political.
The yes and no is just, they start in the bridge. It's not
Yes.
yes and no, they put them in the city.
Exactly.
No, right, so the grant read that it's supposed to be put out all over the city. It doesn't state anything about the bridges, but politically, there's some council members here that wanna put it on the bridge because they're trying to prove that we need to move our traffic south.
I think that's
They
too
want
much
it there
stipulation.
because that's where the other monitor.
Yeah, there's
So
more
the other one-
political, sides to it, so.
So
So
they
they
want
want it there
to
just
measure that one. They want to measure
But
that.
it's the same TC, the data's gonna go to TCQ. It's like using the same company to measure the same company.
No, it doesn't go to the same.
The ones that they want to put, it's to have their own data in order for them.
To compare it to the TCQ.
Yeah.
Yes.
But are you gonna compare something that it's less,
It's a lesser machine,
less technology to the highest
I
technology?
guess that's a good way to put it. Less technology to the high product, not the pricing, but just, so that's kind of what I was going.
Yeah.
right,
And like I said, yeah, but like I said, the assumption of, unless we know that, hey, they wanna take the traffic to the south and compare it, but I don't think that's, but I don't think that's correct what they're trying to do. I just think, whatever, I just wanna know the back end and what was the kind of discussion when you guys.
We wanted the benefits. What are we going to get out of them?
they couldn't answer what really what the benefits were.
If there is a benefit of technology, hey, this is the other one was built in 1980, this is built in 2024, and it works, I will give them the benefit of the doubt. But there's no data like that, hey, this is a Tesla, and that's a Honda from 1956, because,
Yeah.
they can't, I don't know, but yeah. Like I said, without discussion, because I would have liked to discuss it, I wasn't here, I'm not gonna spend time with the committee
And
discussing it.
the only thing, Milo, it's, we are in compliance right now with
No,
the
no, yeah,
TCEQ monitors. We are in compliance. So we are not in the fall, like, to say, like, there's
There's
a
a-
reason to put it.
There's a need.
I would say the one lingering issue was, or the big caveat on the back, was non-attainment, right? The potential of them, the standards are gonna be a little bit, are gonna be more strict. And the big concern is they're measuring us at our muffler, and if you compare the air quality monitor and sensors that do the same thing on the other border cities, they're not right on the bridge. And so if they're gonna come, if
Fair.
we reach non-attainment, that means you get less federal funding, you have to do more air quality improvements. And if we're gonna be compared to other cities that are not measuring at the same place, then I don't think that's equivalent, so.
Right,
it's kind of
so,
putting-
so today, and
I like that answer better, like that.
yeah,
like-
so they did the same test in El Paso. None of the bridges were measured. It was all schools and public areas and high-traffic areas. So we want the same thing. I mean,
And what was the outcome?
But at the end of the day, with this test, if something happens and something, they're saying that it's not gonna count much, it's just a grant free. If any negative, data comes by or increase in pollution or something, or air quality, it does affect, there's a proven thing that it can affect our resources that we receive from federal grants or anything like that? How? So there's also no net, so listen, you're failing, it's not yet,
but we're not, because the big machine tells us we're not.
okay.
So
Yeah, so,
that's why it was just very redundant, and if we wanna, like he said, if we wanna be compared to other cities, we wanna measure in the same spaces that they measured in, so,
Okay.
very well put.
Thank you for the information.
Yes, and today there was a discussion with the U.S. Customs Brokers Association where, we agreed that there was gonna be a letter put out, by the association saying that, they do not agree with the location of that monitor. So, just so that there could be a statement from somebody else besides the Port of Entry, the Laredo Customs Brokers Association, and Laredo Motor Carriers Association. Basically, the trade community is on the same side, along with the mayor.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
I'd like to note that JD has arrived.
For the record,
for the record,
For the record, he's present.
and train,
I wanna-
damn train, man.
I want to, for the record, say that Henry Guerra said he was his friend today at the meeting.
We are in Albert.
All
Don't
right.
forget Albert.
So, if there's anything else besides, what we just spoke about for that air monitor?
So what they were gonna do is they were gonna calibrate
Right.
the other ones, the sensors, the low sensors. They're gonna use them to calibrate whatever they were gonna do. That's the other things, the reading and the calibration.
So city council, chose to table it, so they can get more information. That's where this health summit comes in.
Hopefully.
And then hopefully after this health summit, there'll
I
be.
guess that's the first, I guess, I know there was a lot of discussion on being tabled or not, and I think that was a discussion on that they didn't take our decision, but I think that's moving forward, I think that's a smart decision of them not deciding for or against. If they don't feel they have the right information, we'll table it and if you guys wanna get more information on it. I understand if you're against it, like, well, yeah, right now, shut it down, but, we've had instances where also they do city council in the past, not necessarily the past year or two, 5, 10, 15 years. Well, people get up there and they make decisions without having
Shoot
a
from the hip.
proper analysis of things that the community leaders or community, associations, organizations can bring to the table, so.
And just to let you know that, city management had rejected the agreement, and then council sent it to us. So we agreed with city manager along there, so.
Awesome, thank
All
you.
right,
for that update.
going on to the next, I'm going to ask to table this, agenda item, which is updated discussion by Garros representative regarding the repair of Columbia Solidarity Bridge refrigeration facility, since, there are no,
Motion to table.
representative. Can I get a second?
Quick question, just how did this get to our items?
If you, in 3 meetings ago,
3 meetings ago.
3 meetings ago, there was a question of like, hey, when are you gonna fix the refrigerator? It's been broken for a long time.
So we.
It was
began-
damaged, yes.
I just thought that they had come in and asked you, and then they didn't come in.
No,
No, it's been in the agenda for 3 or 4 months.
yeah, and, Mr. Luis, Hinojosa, answered once, and then we asked, we keep on asking them so that they could put a date on it, like a fixture date.
Mr. Chair, if I can add, I spoke to Assistant Board Director Javi Vasquez about the topic, and he's totally against repairing it, period, in Colombia. He said, I don't want him to fix it, I don't even want it there, in fact, we can get rid of it and we'll have more space. So, that is his position on the matter. He said,
That is CBP's position?
Yeah, that is CBP's position.
No, that's his position.
Well,
Not CBP's, he said that's my personal
Well,
opinion.
he was
Oh, yeah.
upset that somebody actually pursued
The
somebody
repair.
repairing it. So
Why wouldn't somebody not pursue the repair of something that's
they
broken?
claim that it's outdated, it just kind of takes space, and to his point, there's another facility, the Garros facility.
I'm not sure because I don't use those facilities, but my understanding when Javi, because he stayed the same to me, like, I mean, I don't care if they fix it or not because we are using the other one and you
That's-
don't get charged an extra fee to use the one that it's updated.
I just said,
So I hear that from Javi too. So why pursue to fix it? Because we want a nice port. I
Right,
think everything has to be working. But that's something that Carlos has to answer.
right.
but again, you got a motion to table it, so.
Yeah, so we'll table, we have a first and we have a second, can I, all in favor? All opposed? Tabled. Update and discussion regarding the road leading to the World Trade Bridge import lot from Riverbank and any matters incident there too. We talked about this in the last meeting about the, access to the import lot through the south side of Loop 20. Is that correct?
Correct, Chairman.
We have an
members of the
update?
Board, Kent Richard, Assistant Bridge Director. Just to give you an update on that right now, Ramon Chavez, our city engineer, is in discussion with TxDOT. They're working on it together. They're looking for the pins and the location to do a survey in that area and then proceed from there. So that's the information we currently have, that they have met and moving forward to get this thing taken care of.
Good.
So, as later on, as we get more information on that, we will present it back to the
Can
committee.
we get dates on those things, please, for the next one?
We will, yes, we will
Please.
ask for dates tomorrow,
Because
I should see.
That's been going for months.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The Chavez presenting to TxDOT the actual plan, because apparently TxDOT had gone and put the survey exactly what this,
Yeah.
the property was, the legal property.
Yeah.
And apparently it's no longer there, according to Chavez
Right.
staff.
It's my, what I found out, they're having a hard time finding the pins and the location at this time. So I don't know, I'm not a
Yeah.
surveyor to see what they gotta do to go in depth to find the exact location so we can pinpoint it properly.
Because I see both on different occasions in meetings or ribbon cuttings, and I approached them, and so that's where it's been for a while now.
Right, because we met with you out there several months ago.
That one was
I don't
maybe
recall
almost a
how
year
far
by now.
back that was. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir. Next agenda item, discussion on possible action regarding changes of the Port of Entry Advisory Committee laws. How are we doing on that, Mr. Richard?
Chairman, members of the committee, what's more, Ms. Limon filled me in on these. I think she's got a lot of feedback from various people from the committee here. We will be piecing that together. Hopefully, we can have that finalized for the next meeting and present it to the committee for approval.
Okay. She already has how it should read, and she already has everything, right?
Yes, that is correct.
morning.
She handed it to me. She had to step out this evening on emergency. She was here a few minutes ago before y'all arrived. She had to rush out and
Yes.
she gave me information briefly on things to kind of discuss and, but yeah, the information that was passed on by the committee for the bylaws. Her and I will piece it together and finalize it and present it to the board, to the committee for approval.
Thank you. This next agenda item, I don't know if it was supposed to be a location of a new bridge topic, Arturo, but it was supposed to be a list of, properties, right?
Oh,
Remember we had talked about
we had,
So-
just to see what the city had.
what property the city owns. So just to give you an update, I talked to somebody at the city and they don't have a list already made. They're still working on the list.
The list.
Yes, they're still putting everything together. They're working with WebCAD to put a list of city property owned, properties on the list so that they can have a database of what they own, what they don't own. They're having a lot of problems with land that has been donated and still in the legal processes of becoming city property. So, they did put the item on here regarding a new bridge location somewhere between World Trade Bridge and Columbia Bridge. And the city they were, good enough to get us the maps of the property and the property owners listed on there to show us who owns what property on the riverbank in the spot after El Pico plant, all the way up to the golf course, so.
Right, there's three different maps in front of you. The first one is talking about from World Trade Bridge to El Pico plant, where they said there's no properties that have river frontage on it. And then if you go to your second picture, it is basically from El Pico water plant to the Max Golf Course. And this is the latest information we got on who owns the various partials. And then the third map picture is from the Max Golf Course all the way to Columbia Bridge. And it does state your parcel numbers on there and who is the most recent owner of the property at this time. And I do have it on the overhead TV monitors as well as I have pictures for you as well.
Right, thanks for the info, but, I mean, now that we have this truck parking, can we discuss, I mean, it's in the agenda. We can
Yes,
talk
so the
about-
next item sort of correlates with that, is discussion regarding a truck parking development to support local industry and commerce by exploring both private and public sectors to determine location of facilities and any other matters incident thereto.
So a while back, the city was thinking, and TxDOT also was thinking of, I don't know if you had some kind of, conversations with TxDOT back then, that they wanted to build their, parking lots for trucks. And so they would park there, and so that they didn't they didn't park along the warehouses and stuff like that. And what I learned from the trucking industry was that they have their hours of driving, so that's why they park outside the warehouse. And once they park, they finish their hours. And they don't once they turn on that truck again, the hours start again. So they wake up the next morning, they wait till they open the warehouse, they go down, wait, I'm the first, third, oh, pues I'm gonna offload you in 2 hours. So they don't turn on the truck until they're ready to load and ready to go for the hours. But what we see now is you see a whole bunch of trucks parked all over Laredo. I mean, I'm talking about just the front truck.
Yeah.
And mostly it's independent drivers that should park somewhere. And they shouldn't be roaming
They
around the
don't
city.
have a base here, or a
Yes.
yard here.
Well, like, what would we envision a size of a piece of property?
If you were to make one, there wouldn't be a size big enough for it. I mean, I think there has to be several, spread out throughout the city. I guess the ideal thing would be that every industrial park have its own parking.
That would be ideal.
That would be the pie of the sky, right? Like, Pinnacle, let's just say Pinnacle, that they carve out when they were developing X amount of acres so that they can have a holding yard for that yard, that industrial park's trucks that are getting there in and out.
Or possibly starting with one, Start with one.
Right, a pilot program. So right now, what this does is, it opens up the communication lines to get the trucks off of the shoulders off of 35. Specifically around, where our old, checkpoint used to be.
Sure.
You know how they're still there? You drive out of town, there's trucks parked there. That can't be safe, you know, and along the city also, you start seeing trucks hidden behind buildings just to go to sleep. Walmarts,
That's the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Especially the Mines Road area, that they're roaming around and just park at the Popeyes and all of those. Those should be holding somewhere, that if they don't have a yard, they should be there. They should be roaming through Ubers or something, taxis or something.
Well, you know, maybe we can look at that piece of property where Anson used to be. Remember that was a mitigation piece of property?
And there,
And it covered it all up.
Oh, the
Yeah.
contaminated area?
Yeah, and see, and that has to be sealed, but at the time, we were proposing to do a solid waste substation there. And we talked to them about concreting the entire area, and then we could build a building, and we wouldn't have to go to the landfill to take the trash. We'd put it in a compactor there and send it to San Antonio. It'd be a lot cheaper. But that piece of property was going to facilitate quite a bit of parking, but it didn't pan out, for various reasons. So they basically just put asphalt on it.
They put cement on the skirt and then the blacktop.
It just asphalt but that was enough to satisfy the environmental department, to seal the contamination in there, but
That would be a great starting point.
I had already spoken to one of the council members about that, but apparently it doesn't have enough asphalt for trucks. I said, well, use it for the paisanos, hold them there, bring them food trucks, y todo,
You'd have to
during the
concrete that
paisano
area.
area. But they don't use it, it's just there. I mean, they've never used it.
you know.
So the good thing is that, there is a $200 million project that the Appropriations Committee, had passed. So I think that this is a project that we can maybe dip into federal funds and help the city acquire federal funds to, you know, there's no property that's ready to hold trucks the way we're looking to hold trucks.
Everything's prime.
Yeah, so it's either virgin land or it's land that needs to be redone to fit it to us. So I think it's something that it would be great to talk to Congressman Cuellar about, because there is a project out there and 200 million were earmarked for that type of project, for truck parking. And there's cities all over the US that are already doing it and have been taking advantage of that.
I just think that just the tractor itself shouldn't be roaming on Mines Road by itself.
No, and even trucks with the trailer, I mean,
Yeah, that
anything.
particular piece of property has accessibility to the backside where the sewer treatment plant is gonna be built. So, I mean, the railroad wouldn't be an
Oh,
issue.
through Mines Road, but it also, right now it has access through Mines Road, but on
Yeah.
the turnaround,
Around
right?
it.
Yeah. Which is fine, I mean, there's nobody, back there. So I'll send you this article that I found on that for the Appropriations Committee, project. But yeah, so the main thing is, city council did a good job of, I believe they just passed something about, giving tickets to trucks that are driving in areas where they're not supposed to be driving, or they're parking where they're not supposed to be parking. So I think that's something, the next step is, all right, we're gonna ticket them, but where should they go? Where are they supposed to be? So, I don't think it's fair, I mean, they shouldn't be in the neighborhoods, but at the same time, give them somewhere to go. And then the next question is should it be private? Should it be public? Should it be charged? Should it be free? Should it be what, right? So, I'm guessing that, you know, if you get federal funds from the Appropriations Committee for a project like this, that would be a great, you know, a free parking module.
Somebody has to maintain it, so, and nothing is free.
Nothing is free, right? But I think part of the project's funds, whatever you would get, you know, if you get X amount, there has to be a percentage of that that's gonna be for management upkeep of it for years to come, so that it won't be,
Now, there's one, there, or at least I've seen one on 35
where,
going towards San Antonio, Austin. There's a trailer parking area. Next time I drive through there, I'm gonna.
you talking about mile marker 18?
On the left-hand side, is that?
No, you're talking about 130, 120 Airport San Antonio.
It's way out there, but I saw the sign, and I'm just going too quick, but, you know, next time I go, I'm gonna take a picture of it,
Okay.
maybe find out and see how they did it.
Yeah, we need something, I mean, even if it's web county based, right? Like something, even if it's not in the city, even if it's outside the city, before coming into town, it's like, all right, well, I'm already here, but in the morning I'll wake up and then I'll go deliver type of thing, like a
And then-
holding station.
And then again, like you mentioned, is it just going to be like a short-term parking, you know, so people can just come in overnight or a day
Yeah,
and take
since,
off?
I think it should be, you know, the hours that you need max to rest, the 11 or 12 hours that they need. So it should be short term as in like 12
Yeah,
hours.
because if you drive down 359, you're starting to see properties out there that are 50-acre tracts that have just been cleared, and all they have now is
Yards.
trailers.
Yep.
Highway 83 going north.
Trailers. First they started out with about like 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's pretty close to 100 of them out there. So it's, the storage for the trailer,
Mm-hmm.
not the tractor trailer, the box,
Yep.
that's also big.
Yep.
People are looking to store those, because they take a lot of space, you know, and if they're empty, you're not using them, they're not doing you any good as far as, the brokers that are out there, but
Right.
you're starting to see that a lot,
Yeah.
going that way. I know you drive that road and you can see it, and I've seen it grow, and the more now I think they're even looking at the property next to it, because they've outgrown what, 50 acres already. So,
I'm just gonna make a comment. At my time, I worked a little bit, helping Pinnacle develop, as well as working at TxDOT when we did the truck parking study. Ultimately, it's gonna have to probably be a P3, a public-private partnership. On the private side, the reason they didn't move forward with that was too expensive, and for the rates to get $15, $20, for non-committal, if a local company, most people park at their yard, and if you're over the road, you're not gonna end up, you only get a few of them that you can rent out. And then the management operations of it is a big deal. And I think city council passed, you have to concrete anything over an acre, so that was a higher cost. So looking at all those different components, it's gonna have to be some federal funds with local support, and then, private entity, maybe, like you said, strategically placed around town where they're either donating or partnering with that. But it will help solve a lot of the solutions for the,
I wonder if there's any large developments north of Laredo that are coming up that might have some spare land, like Talise might have some spare land out there that might want to venture into a private-public project here, but.
See, my concern is the people that don't have terminals here.
Yes.
They come in,
There's a lot of
Drop.
them.
pick up loads, they roam around the city, I mean, they just mess up the city, throw trash all over the place, and they just leave. In other words, they use the port, they don't leave money here, they just take loads and get
Oh,
out.
and I invite anybody to drive out to Walmart on International. There's trucks parked there. They're not parked there because there's a yard here. They're parked there because they don't have a yard. You go to H-E-B, go to Guadalupe, go to all those gas stations there. All those truck lines, you've never seen them before. It's, John's trucking from Ohio or something, and
they're going there right for the necessities, right? You're gonna go,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
living in your truck and get something, but most of the time, if you're talking about, that tractor is treated kind of like a third-class citizen, right? And where do you
Yes.
send them, and now you're gonna start finding them.
Right.
That's kind of doing less business friendly, but at the same time, as Arturo mentioned, well, they're destroying the sidewalks or parking, improperly in neighborhoods. So we have to find a solution, at least a pilot, where the
Right.
city says, we'll commit these spots to it.
And the Walmart parking lot has become a mechanic shop. I mean, there's
Like-
oil changes. No. And the reason I know this is because along that fence line on the right, 50 yards away is a house, a line of houses. And they hear it, they hear the motors on because they have to have the ACs running, and they smell it because, like you said, trash, and they just leave it there or whatever. And Walmart's position here locally is like, the headquarters doesn't say anything, we don't move, so. But then you see HEBs that are, full of those, there's a bobtail, parking area there, and they're all in there buying stuff, so. We want the business and we want them to spend, but we also don't want them in our backyard, filling our backyard full of CO2. And then, so this item was brought up, and I think it's a good idea. It's just something that we have to explore. Like you said, it's very expensive, but federal funding can help. And, yes.
Rick, I know Beatriz Castro, she's from FAR, and she's one of the administrators of the Sunbelt Bridge. It's a private bridge operated, and they do have something like that over there. I can ask her if she can explain to us how does she handles that, if they just put money or they have grants, or how does that work? How much they charge for the stay over there?
It's a parking facility for
Yes.
the bridge?
Yes, for the
Oh.
overstays.
Oh.
So the trucks are not in the city,
Roaming.
they just concentrate all the trucks there.
Good.
So let me talk to her to see if
Perfect.
she can do something for us, like advise something, how they handle the trucks over there.
Okay, great. Next item, bridge staff report.
Yes, Chairman and committee. We prepared our insufficient funds U-turns again, as we do every month. For the month of July, World Trade Bridge had 175 no funds U-turns. Columbia had 8. If you look in the very last page, you can see our chart, our graph. The numbers in blue is World Trade Bridge. The numbers in green is Columbia Bridge.
Going
So
down.
for the month of July, we're at the lowest we've ever had for World Trade Bridge at 175. I checked the numbers today for the month of August for World Trade Bridge. We're currently at 144, and we got 4 days left in the month to see what our final numbers are on that. Furthermore, well, we have a breakdown of both bridges as to, we had one account with 7 U-turns. I am happy to say that one account and several others have already been set up on auto replenish. There's a credit card on file because of the new ordinance that is
So we
in
got
place.
through the legal side of
Yes,
this? Good.
yes, we did. So yesterday alone, there was 6 or 7 accounts of these that had high numbers of U-turns that are now on auto replenish, credit card on file with a minimum of $100 threshold on the account to keep it going.
Good job.
So our department has really been pushing hard on this. We gave them a few others, and what they're also doing, they're looking at the 2 to 3 days prior, and as they're coming in, it's like, okay, this account had 2 yesterday. Let's get them on the phone right now.
Oh.
If they don't
Being
answer,
proactive.
right, if they don't answer, we're sending them an email. And then I'm informing them, okay, if you don't hear any from them in a day or 2, let me know. You send them a strong email saying effective tomorrow, your account is gonna be inactive. And that's what we're having to do on a lot of these accounts. We're inactivating their account. Their truck is getting to the lane and boom, gate 1 open. So they immediately have to call whoever, and somebody comes down immediately or sets it up online to put it on auto replenish. And so it's been working great these last few days. And I sure hope to get the companies that have had 11, 7, 6, and 5 U-turns in a month. For example, the month in June, we had one trucking company had 11. That's already on auto replenish. So we're going after the bigger companies that are having the bigger amount of U-turns. And if we don't hear from them, we inactivate the account. Boom, we get answers immediately.
Good.
Which has been great. Yesterday and today, we knocked out a bunch of them.
Awesome.
And
Well, the good thing is that they're going down. The bad thing is our revenue is going down too.
Oh, it's not extra revenue. We've collected 470,000 for the past
Exactly.
That's
Sorry.
true, yeah.
You know, we hit them with $100 fine plus $23.75. It's a 5-axle vehicle. They gotta go make the deposit, then they come back around when they're ready
They
to
gotta
go
move
through.
5 shipments
It's
to
like
make,
$200 and something already.
come out even. They gotta move 5 extra shipments to come out even on that
Exactly.
125.
You know,
Yeah, it's crazy,
so-
but anyhow. that's
So
good.
it is working, we're happy to say,
Good.
and hopefully those numbers will continue going down and we'll get the transportation industry and get the truckers going across the bridge much faster and not having a delay, you know, as we see 2 to 3, 5 minutes where traffic is stopped because you're having to U-turn a truck. And so, we will
How's-
continue pushing on that.
Good. How's the World Trade Expansion Project going?
We have had meetings, surveys going on right now. They're finalizing on the survey. They're doing the environmental studies. They're doing the conceptual, drawings as we speak, everything right now. It's still on track. I don't have the timeline with me. It looks like construction should start in March or April of 2026, completion and open for business 2027. Now, just to let you know also, we were supposed to have a meeting next week in Mexico City with the BBBBXG, Border Binational Bridge Crossing Group. We got an email sometime after lunch today that it has been postponed due to various reasons, you know, with the Mexican government and things of that nature. So we were gonna present to SRE Mexico as well as to Department of State US on what's going on the World Trade Bridge as well as Columbia Bridge on both expansions. So
So, who's going to the binational meeting or the bridge meeting in Mexico City?
it was gonna be next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's been canceled. That's what I was talking about. It was gonna be Assistant City Manager Jose Valdez, the mayor, his assistant, myself, as well as Mr. Sid Milkey, SEA, Structure Engineer Associates, Melissa Montemayor with LJA, who is spearheading the Columbia Bridge.
And the presentation is gonna be made by Sid Milky or staff?
The presentation was gonna be by Sid Milkey, the mayor, as well as the Mexican counterparts for the World Trade Bridge, and on the Mexican side for Nuevo Leon.
Just gonna make a recommendation. I'd like to see if our chairperson could be included in that trip also.
Okay.
So that
I
he
had,
can be there on behalf of the board,
Right.
so that he can see exactly what the presentation will entail and what everybody else is doing up and down the river.
Exactly. Okay.
I-
Soon as we get an
I know it's
update.
not on the agenda, but it's similar, the item is, or discussion, but
Right.
I think if you can, you know, work on the deal, and if it's okay with you, I think you would provide a good representation for us there at this meeting. It's a very important meeting.
Thank you.
in one of the meetings, they invited us, they invited Mr. Kitchen, but he couldn't go. So I went.
El Paso one?
Vacation, don't
He was
touch
on vacation.
No, no.
It was in El Paso. It was
They
a
wanna
very
play
good
for my
experience.
fuel.
There was a lot of discussion and updates on every single port and roads leading to ports of entry. So it was pretty good. And
Great. Thank you. I
it-
appreciate
it's-
that.
you should
We will find out when when it's been
See if y'all can work it
rescheduled.
out.
I will talk to Ms. Limon and we'll also let City Manager's office know, on the express of the committee.
Great. All right. Any other business? I have one thing I would like to say. I'd like to welcome Mr. Tony Arce, from the Laredo Economic Development Corporation. He's the interim president, am I saying that right? Yes?
Correct.
He's the interim president, for the LEDC, and just wanna say welcome, and, you know, we've got a lot of work to do, and I've tried to have meetings every month to stay active and stay on city council and stay pushing items for the trade community, so, you know, we're doing our best here to move the city forward with trade issues and anything that pops up.
Thank you. That is a critical committee and I'm glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
Great.
Welcome.
Welcome. All right, schedule next meeting. We will be having a meeting in August, in September.
No vacations in Panama.
Ya empezó la escuela, no hay vacaciones.
Okay, okay, so we are back to one a month.
Sí,
But
pero
remember we
one-
moved on to two.
Pero one's official and one's not. One's official.
What do you mean?
So-
They're all
For
official?
the,
Yes.
you know, attendance, if you miss
It's a
so
special
many
meeting.
meetings,
Oh,
you're
for
out. I think, are you?
For
there?
attendance purposes.
No, but so why are we having meetings that are not official? Like, if
No,
we-
they're
All
all,
are
they're all
official.
official.
no, they're not official. They're
Well,
not
they don't
attended.
count as an absent.
Because
That's really
the
what it is.
bylaws only say six
All
sessions
right,
a year.
so I move, yes, sir?
You already have
You wanna
yours.
keep it
Ya no puedes faltar.
The last Wednesday of the month, so, everybody have, okay with the September 25th?
Yeah.
September twenty-fifth.
This year or next year?
I'm fine.
We're in Washington, no, cuando es Joe?
Looking at right now.
Is that a Wednesday or a Thursday?
September 18th.
Is that a Wednesday or? a
Wednesday.
Flying back on
We're,
that day.
we're in Washington, September the twenty-fifth.
You in Washington?
Oh, we got here too.
Come back on the 26th Thursday, so I'll be up.
You will
Okay,
be
so
out.
you come back
I'll
on the
be out.
26th. October 2nd?
I'm out on October 2nd.
I don't wanna push it sooner, September 18th,
The day of our symposium.
day of the symposium.
Is there only the two of you out in that day? Maybe
Only
maybe
you,
send
only
an
you
email?
two are going
We
to
can send an
Washington?
email and
George.
just,
I'm out.
George?
I'll be
How
seeing
about like the, sooner, like the first week of September?
Like next
Second
week?
Next
Second
week?
week of
Next
September.
week?
How would you
No,
want it
come
next
on.
week? No, like, let's be realistic, do we need a meet every 2-3 weeks? No.
No.
Unless there's an item that needs to be addressed or we're waiting for data, but
How about,
it's October,
we push it to
does it has
October?
to, question, does it has to be a Wednesday? Because maybe we can do
Thursday
Friday
afternoon,
27.
On the 27th.
Not Friday night?
yeah, Friday.
No, Friday morning. Come on.
Thursday afternoon,
Yes, Friday morning.
Thursday?
the
Thursday?
26th.
Or at lunchtime?
Thursday?
Yes, we can.
Wait, you all come back the 26th at what time?
I'll be back about 1:30, so.
No, but then you got flight delays and everything like
Friday
You've been gone.
27.
You guys have been gone.
Why do you wanna move to Friday? Fridays are, I think they're just really bad for everybody. All trips start on Friday for
Monday
everybody.
the 30th?
Of what?
Thursday morning,
Thursday
but
morning,
you're
you'll be gone.
I commit. No, Wednesday. Joe,
September 30th, Monday, afternoon, evening, the same time.
Is that a council day?
No, it's the last, well, I don't know, it's a Monday, when, do you know,
Council should
One and
be
third.
23rd?
September 3rd, Tuesday, and then September 16th,
Yeah.
And then the,
a Monday.
Okay.
So,
September 3rd is the Tuesday
September
because.
30th is what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
30th
because
is
I'm just stating the two
Okay,
council meetings. It's normally the first and third Monday of the month, but the first Monday is a holiday, so it's gonna move to Tuesday the 3rd, and then.
and then all the way to
it'll be
October,
September
and then-
16th,
and then October 7th.
correct.
Okay, then September 30th, Monday evening?
sure, afternoon again, evening?
Evening, yes. So let's tentatively September 30th.
I will check with city secretary's office to see if the facility here is available, and then, we can notify y'all that it's a yes or a no.
Okay, so pending, you'll let us know.
Correct.
Perfect, thank you.
We always check to see if the facility is available.
So if it's no, we're gonna have plan B, or we're just gonna sit there wait, see what the outcome is?
If it's no, then we'll go via emails just to get
We'll go to
everybody
that
else.
Wednesday, that's
We'll go-
October
October
2nd.
October's,
Second in the afternoon.
somebody said that they couldn't come
yeah, it's me, but go
October
ahead.
2nd.
I will miss you.
We will miss you.
It's just one.
So we'll say September 30th, and if it's not, then we'll just select the next available date.
When are you gonna be back in October, the first week, or?
No, I'm taking 2 weeks.
Oh, no.
I'm leaving the 2nd and coming back probably the 14th.
Then the next available date could be the 16th of October, maybe. We gotta get Milo
Yeah, if you
before,
want- if
we
you
gotta
want
get
to do
Milo
a
before
second-
hunting season starts. No, ya valió.
Wednesday, they're still good, sorry, Tony también, Tony también. He's in the deer blind at 4:30, 4:15.
Motion and second, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? Thank you all.